partial containment.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to do. Yeah, because of the always on.
So I can define a user on one node and it will go into the database, and when the primary group goes to another node, the user goes, is authenticated on the other node.
Absolutely, yeah. You're just like with the previous versions of SQL Server or any database which isn't configured for containment, you're creating a login on the instance and a user on the database, and the instance is just that those tasks you can get rid of. Yeah, we only have objects in the database. Yeah, and the authentication is done by the local software, the local server. So most applications aren't aware of this setting. Yeah, so it's very transparent. Yeah, I can recommend it. And you should test for your own application, but I think it will work. No database audit specifications. Very exciting in database auditing. I can audit for select statements, whether people read my data, but this is an enterprise-only feature. You will need the enterprise edition of SQL Server. Okay, exciting stuff about database properties. Space usage, and quite basic, very elementary. Size of the database, the space available, data space usage, and index space usage. All just standard properties on the database container that I'm working on right now. And the collection of databases, thanks to my small connection. But yeah, take a good look at the table, and you will see that it's not that logical. Size is in megabytes, and the other three are in kilobytes. Yeah, so we have to convert this to a more meaningful table. There we have it. Size in megabytes. I'm doing it like this in megabytes. Space available megabytes, data space usage, and index space usage. All very interesting properties. Size, okay, I have big databases, small databases. Space available within the database. Later on I'm going to inspect on my disks, but a database can be configured for a certain amount of space, and you have to monitor whether that space is still available. We can see that with Oracle databases, you're normally capping your database space availability, and with a SQL Server, you're auto-growing. And I think, and it has something to do with the history of Microsoft, Oracle is running with large companies, and SQL Server was running with the smallest companies, and it's growing. And now we're running also this in the largest companies, where we still have the auto-grow property. And it has probably to do with the fact that these small companies don't have database administrators. So we're growing the database until the disk fills up. But if you're doing this properly, you will probably cap the database. Maybe not your sales or human research database, but the other database you will cap on a certain amount of space. You have to monitor this. So now we have a method to monitor this. And just let this iterate over your infrastructure, and maybe investigate every hour or something. Okay, data space usage. For example, the Adventurers database over here, 200 megabytes. We have 40 megabytes available. Okay, that's fine. Let me see, 200 megabytes. About 200 megabytes, of which 90 megabytes is about data, and about 85 megabytes is about indexes. Yeah, that's not the best thing to do. So maybe I want to have an overview of the databases in my environment that have a bad ratio. Like AdventureWorks, 90 megabytes of data with 85 megabytes of index space, which gives 90% of my data is also implemented through an index. So that's a bad ratio. Maybe this database requires this, and I can filter on this, but probably I should inspect on this. In practice, I have been optimizing SQL Server with Holland's largest companies, and I did find databases, production databases, which had, well, let's say 1 gigabyte of data, 10 gigabytes of indexes. Happens all the time. So run this, inspect this for yourself. This index percentage over here, 90%, can be 1000%. Yeah, you can have indexes which are 10 times your data, and that's really, really bad. Bad design of the database, and maybe you want to inspect that. Okay. What do we have over here? Zoom in on database with little space available. Yeah, I just made a selection where space available is small. I give you those databases and act on those. Come, Rob. I was just running a command.
Sorry.
No problem. So over here, now I created this over your servers. Space available is small, okay, and then okay, you can send this in a daily report. I really hate email. I really do. So don't send email from PowerShell, but you can. There's a lot of people want to use this to send an overview of any critical situations happening on your database servers. Send mail message is just implemented by PowerShell. I think it's version 2. So each and every PowerShell version that you're working with probably implements send mail message. This is not maybe the most clean thing to do, but I do experience a lot that a lot of technical personnel is using Twitter, especially at this conference. I was some while ago with one of Holland's largest banks, and they're also using Twitter a lot for monitoring. And this is just an example. So you don't want to tweet that your production database is about to go offline. Yeah. But when you're emailing things like this, your mailbox will fill up. And I think the advantage of Twitter is that you don't have to promote this Twitter account. And you can just have it on your phone, follow that Twitter account, and you'll get just instant notifications when there's something going on. Nobody has to know about it. You can just mention any, don't mention your company name over here, but...
So which module is that to send the Twitter? To send the tweets?
Yeah, that's a good question. The S&P command is just implemented by SQL Server, sorry, PowerShell version 2. And the send tweet is just invoking HTTP. And I found it somewhere on the internet.
Okay. Yeah.
5 minutes? Okay.
Oh, Rob is raising his hand.
So I know that Ryan Yates finished his so he's using the PSConf EU Twitter account. So he's going to publish that on GitHub. So
Great.
I would recommend that you have a look at that one if you want to send it.
Ryan Yates. Cool. Yeah, it's basically just HTTP. Send a tweet, basically HTTP. Okay. Disk space. This is very basic. I get disk space on my shared storage, local storage, whatever. I can just tweet about this, or maybe if you want to send an email. Let's skip on this. That's performance administration. Okay. We have 5 minutes. I think we're almost done. Personally, these are for me the most important properties that I want to inspect on instances, databases, and finally something about security.
Is there a possibility to check the free space on mount point?
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you an example for that?
Not over here, but it's asked for a lot. And if you're Googling PowerShell mount point, a lot of examples. Yeah, it's very popular. It's a very popular topic.
If if you look for show dash drive sizes by some bloke called Bob Silver, so you can see there in the middle. Find one that does make. Sorry.
No problem. Last question.
Would it be possible to list user connections, not the active ones, but the dot ones or the large ones? So just for checking who's using what on the SQL Server.
Yeah, I don't have the solution right here, but I think that the solution would be in the DMVs. I think we can rely on the DMV to do this. This is the last time, Rob.
The SMO, you can look, there's an SMO method called show all processes. And so you can turn that into a function. If you're doing a restore, you want to kill all the processes, you can kill all the processes connected to a certain database name as well.
Processes or users?
Processes.
So I was asking for users connected to.
So because you have that process, you then have all the information as if you've done show star from sys.dmv.processes, where you have the entity username, you have the host name, you have the connection, all of that information is in there.
I think if you want to know everybody who's logged into a SQL Server, you should look at auditing, because there's a connect object within the audit object, which will show you everybody that's logged into the SQL Server, if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah. We have a lot of options to do this. Yeah, that's it. Not in my demo, but we have multiple solutions. The information is in SQL Server. We can get it. Yeah, it's there. Okay, so final demo. I have 5 minutes. I don't need that much. Security. These are a lot of options about security. Maybe just any properties. We see the run value, the config value we spoke about at the beginning of the demo. Really old-fashioned C2 audit mode. We don't use this anymore. Common criteria compliance can be required for some companies. It's off with me, but I want to know about my SQL servers. Maybe export this to XML and then do a comparison every day or anything. Contain databases, we spoke about this. It's enabled on the instance, so I can rely on this. Login modes. Oops, this is too fast. Like this. Which is mixed mode. This is all just on TechNet. The login mode is the registry key I'm reading is instance specific, and this is mixed mode. It's not recommended really in production environment unless you really need local logins. We probably want to rely on centralized authentication like Active Directory. In Azure, it's the other way around. In Azure, we don't have Active Directory, not with Azure databases. We have it virtual machines, but not with databases. So it's the other way around. We only have login mode 2. Okay, any accounts, logins? I'm loading my logins over here. I want to know about the SA account, lots of properties per login, and finally, nothing there. Okay, a selection of what accounts are not disabled, or is disabled equals false. I really hate those double negatives. Yeah, is disabled equals false, and yeah, of course, administrator account, SQL Server service account, but the SA is enabled, and I think you want to inspect on this to leave it disabled on your servers. Iterate through your servers and get a listing. Okay, most important demos. We're done?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
For any one of you willing to ask some more questions, I will be here. Takeaways: you can download demos from my website. Use PowerShell Gallery. That's rather new. A lot of SQL Server scripts being shared over there. Fantastic scripts even. We spoke about this. After the PowerShell conference, you can contact me via email, Twitter, LinkedIn, and don't forget to set the rating in, I don't know, Hoover app. Thank you very much.